Team news from St Andrews. Birmingham City first. James Beadle's back in goal. Aaron Cashin faces his former side. Elsewhere, three other changes. Mark Leonard, Patrick Roberts and Marvin Duksh return to the Blues starting 11. As for Derby County, just the one change for them. The experience of Danny Bart replacing Dion Sanderson. And up top, Patrick Adjeman has 3 goals in Derby's last 5 games. Let's get the thoughts now of the Derby boss, John Eustace, with Jonathan Oakes.
Tell us about preparations for this game, John. Were the players able to see their families on Christmas Day?
Yeah, we had a day at home yesterday. We did a little bit in the evening, so the lads had a good Christmas day.
What sort of game are you expecting today, given that Birmingham are so strong at home, but you're so strong away?
Listen, they're a top team, great individual players. We expect a really difficult game, but you know, one we're really looking forward to.
You brought in Danny Bart for Dion Sanderson, who can't play against his parent club. Was the rest of the team pretty straightforward to pick?
I think so. Listen, we've won a 3-game unbeaten run, you know, after a couple of defeats. So the lads deserve to go again, and listen, everyone's really looking forward to the challenge ahead.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Cheers. And we're all looking forward to the game as well. The Derby boss ready and raring to go against his former side. Now, here's a graph for us, Curtis, that you're going to explain to me and Clinton about how good they are going forward, Derby.
Yeah, they're good because they're clinical. You know, we see here along the bottom, this is the XG performance, and they're sitting second. I think this is only to Coventry here in the XG performance that they're doing. So, great position here. Shot conversion, they're sitting second again. This is Hull City. So, it's an unbelievable thing to say that they've had the least shots in the Championship, but yet they sit in this position. You know, you don't want to be in that bottom left-hand corner. That's the teams that are underachieving. They're doing really, really well with what they've got. And especially, we spoke about off air, without Carlton Morris at the moment, the fact that they have got this means whoever are getting those chances, they seem to be taking them, and at very low XG.
You mentioned Carlton Morris being a big miss. Patrick Adjeman, though, the type of player that he's been and the form that he's in, has he grown into that position now? Because there's a bit more responsibility, a bit more expectation, Clinton.
Yeah, definitely. I think when they signed him, he was injured anyway, perhaps. So it took a bit of time for him to get up to fitness. And now, there's obviously big shoes to fill in Morris, and he has to fill them shoes. And he is starting to grow in. And he is a big lad, as you said, and he can cause a lot of problems. But I like him. I think he'll be a good signing. And he's adapted. The Championship's not easy. It's not an easy league to come in. You play a lot of football matches. But at the moment, he looks like he likes the physical battle, and he's starting to score the goals.
Brian Brewster's another player that can give the opposition problems, Curtis. It's about a consistent body of games, isn't it, I think, for Ryan, given where he's been and the price tags that he's moved around for?
That's exactly it. You know, he's gone there on a free. He's a player that has shown great promise as a youngster, bought for a lot of money by Sheffield United, and we haven't seen it yet. You know, unfortunately, injuries have taken their toll as well, but now he's here, you know, playing in the 10 where he can have a little bit more freedom, not having the burden on him to score all the goals as such. Hopefully he can express himself a little bit more, but you know, it's one of those, he's not a kid anymore. We haven't got time to be saying, oh yeah, he's only young, he's 25. You know, it's time to start making his career happen, because we won't want to see a talent like this wasted.
What about the dynamic on the side of the pitch? John Eustace in familiar territory, Clinton.
Yeah, it should be very interesting, shouldn't it? Because as I said, Eustace, he's done a really good job when he was at Birmingham. It's like players, when you go back to your old clubs, you want to prove a point and say, you shouldn't have got rid of me. I'm a top manager and I was a top player.
When I went back, they had no idea who I was. Anyway, moving swiftly on, because time's are wasted. We're going to get cracking very shortly on this Boxing Day here on Sky Sports. Our first game is underway very, very shortly indeed. St Andrews, Birmingham City facing Derby County. Boxing Day off to a cracker before you know it. A bumper Boxing Day on Sky Sports, the only place to take in the Championship. Early kickoffs, Birmingham against Derby. Millwall Ipswich is at 1 o'clock. The top two, of course, in action. Coventry facing Swansea. Borough are hosting Blackburn. And then there's a late kickoff later on in North Wales. Wrexham against Sheffield United. 5:30 for that. Kickoff at Birmingham, though, comes up after the break. Busy Boxing Day on Sky Sports. Here are your Championship fixtures. Two early ones, Birmingham against Derby, Millwall Ipswich, the rest at 3 o'clock. Top two in action, Coventry Swansea, Borough Blackburn, and then there's a later kickoff for you. Wrexham Sheffield United, 5:30 for that one. Let's get some player ahead of the game insights with Jonathan Oakes.
Why are you so good at home? What's the secret here?
I don't know. I just think we've been brilliant here. The boys were brilliant last year, and coming in, you could see the environment, the atmosphere, and it gets you going. And I don't know. I think we're a good team. We just, we've had our moments, and we've got to go pick up some good form and get some good results.
Birmingham are really good at home, but you're really good away. So do you come here full of confidence?
Yeah, of course we go into every game full of confidence, and yeah, we've been good away, and hopefully we can carry on with it today and get a 3 points.
How was Christmas Day then? Just like any other day?
Train in the morning and then playing with cars and toys in the evening. So it was good. My son liked it, and with the missus, she cooked a nice meal. So yeah, ready to go now for Boxing Day.
He's looking for any chink in the armour, Jonathan Oakes, isn't he? I've seen that over the course of the last couple of days, asking everybody what they're up to at Christmas. They talked about the home and the away form. The fans certainly play a huge part, don't they, this time of year, Curtis?
Yeah, massive, because again, they always sellouts on Boxing Day. It's traditional in this country. It'll be the granddad's taking his son, and now he's taking his grandson. So it's an unbelievable day, but ultimately they always want their points. So I think, being a Midlands derby as such, West versus East, there'll be a full sellout and a great atmosphere at St Andrews.
How would you see it pan out in Clinton? Is it a case of a team starting brightly? I mean, there is sometimes a sluggishness to 12:30 kickoffs, given the fact that it is Boxing Day. However, is it who comes out the traps first? Because Chris Davies need a reaction, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And Birmingham have to come out the traps the fastest, definitely. They're the home team. They have to make the running. Derby can just sit in for a bit and then try and play on the counter-attack, because they want to go toe-to-toe with Birmingham, but they can cause them a lot of problems. But yeah, it's down to Birmingham to make the running, definitely.
And given what you've seen so far from Birmingham this season, a lot of expectation, Curtis. It's a tough division though, isn't it?
It is a tough division. When we saw them opening day against Ipswich, Clinton was there with me. It was a really good, really strong performance against a very strong Ipswich side, and I thought, yeah, this could be a season where they do back-to-back. Unfortunately, their away form just hasn't replicated that. So I think it's finding a formula away from home. I know Chris likes to play his way, but it's finding a formula away from home where they can just win games, get results. I think sometimes when you want to have it all your own way away from home, the crowd won't allow that, and the team that you're playing against has a little bit of an extra burst in them because they're at home. So sometimes maybe that's why they find it difficult. But that being said, they're still in a great position. So if they can just repair it a little bit, they'll be in a great position in the season.
Well, let's not forget Derby though, Clinton. Just 4 points off the top 6.
Yeah, I know.
Dark horses?
Yeah, definitely dark horses. And you remember the start they made? I live in and amongst it, so you always can hear a few Derby fans. They're coming up talking to you about football and say, we've been nowhere near good enough. Give it time, it will turn around. It has turned around. I think missing Carlton Morris is a huge blow though, and that's why we're alluding to Adjuman and Brewster, the likes of Berrington, Diaz. These players have to step up, but they've got a great opportunity, but you have to win these kind of games if you want to get into the playoff come the end of the season.
Derby have finally made their way out of the dressing room along that long tunnel at St Andrews. Right, it's your first game of the day on this bumper Boxing Day on Sky Sports in the glorious company of Don Goodman and Merry Christmas, Gary Weaver.
Yes, thank you, David. Merry Christmas. It is a long walk from that away dressing room into that tunnel behind the railway end away to our right, but the players here ready to emerge. It is Boxing Day football, the envy of the rest of Europe. Their leagues take a break, but this is what British football is all about. A day to cherish, a day to savour. St Andrews may not be hosting this kind of day for much longer, with Birmingham's plush new palace ready to change the skyline of the second city. The 12 chimneys of Birmingham will dominate here when it's the 12 days of Christmas in years to come. But right now, this old fabulous place is standing defiant. It's a sellout. 2,000 have made their way from the East Midlands to the West Midlands backing Derby. And we are almost good to go in the winter Boxing Day sunshine. Well, let's take a check on the teams for you. And James Beadle returns, having missed the last couple of games with an injured ankle. Mark Leonard steps in for the suspended Tommy Doyle, who starts a 3-game ban after his red card at Sheffield United. Aaron Cashin starts a left-back against the club that gave him his chance. Another former Ram, Patrick Roberts, returns to the starting 11, as does Marvin Duksh. Kanya Fujimoto, who's barely featured since signing in the summer, is on the bench. Dion Sanderson can't play against his parent club, so Danny Bart starts in his place. Patrick Adjeman has found his feet in the Championship. He scored 3 goals in his last 5 games. Bobby Clark's become an important part of this Derby County team. His dad Lee has history here, having managed Birmingham City. Lewis Travis is not yet ready to feature, but he is not far away. So, Jay Stansfield moves to the number 10 position again, having played number 9 last week. Don, how good is he in this role?
Well, I think he has been the massive constant and consistent player for Birmingham City. He started all but one of the 22, and you can see the impact that he's had. I'm looking at the sprints, because what is really a standout about Jay Stansfield, just how hard he works, and fans absolutely love that. In Derby's system, 2 wing-backs are absolutely key here. And in Joe Ward, they've got somebody that delivers. His numbers are outstanding. He's only started 10 games, 5 assists. Birmingham are going to really have to try and find a way of stopping him delivering the ball into their penalty area.
Well, John Eustace is lurking just behind Chris Davis there. They meet and greet. Chris Davis knows there is a bit of noise, a bit of heat being turned up because of Birmingham City's inability to win when they leave these 4 walls behind. It's putting huge pressure on getting results here. And as for John Eustace, he is, of course, the ghost of Christmas past, returning to St Andrews. He was sacked in a brutal manner by his hometown club in 2023. It cut deep then. He's over it now, but he would love to bring Birmingham City down here today. And the home fans are raising the volume inside here as they sing their anthem ahead of kickoff. And the referee is Ben Toner. Wants us all to start again. He shouldn't be kicking off when the anthem's still going, by the way.
By the way, one of the best anthems in the whole of football. I used to sing along with it, actually, when I used to play here for the opposition. Anyway, swiftly on.
And I sympathise with those who are close to you. Away we go. Boxing Day. A brilliant football day across Britain. And here in the second city, Birmingham City, huge ambitions to get the Premier League flag flying above this stadium again as soon as possible before they move stadium. As for Derby County, they've been landing a few blows on the chins of big hitters in the Championship this season, and they look to come out fighting here today.
Fascinating, isn't it, really, because of the way the table is, because of how congested it is. Between 3rd and 13th, I think it's just 6 points. 4 games in 10 days. There's a great opportunity for any club that can string 2 or 3 wins together, dramatically change the picture.
Sondre Langas with a throw for Derby County. Davis just shielding his eyes against the sun. Likewise, his counterpart. It's a cold day. It's a beautiful day, though. Although Chris Davis and John Eustace may not think the same way.
He only gets 3 points if one of them does. I don't think it's a really beautiful day.
Flag is up. Offside against Derby County. Birmingham City's players were in training on Christmas Day. Ryan Brewster has a bit of a problem here.
Former teammates there in the picture.
But yeah, Birmingham's players were in on Christmas Day for training. They did have Christmas Day off last season, but Chris Davis just felt they were a bit leggy in their Boxing Day game a year ago against Burton Albion, which they did ultimately win. He did set them a target heading into Christmas last year. Win your next 7 games and you'll have Christmas Day off. To his amazement, they won them and they had Christmas Day off. They didn't hit the same target this season.
Lessons learned, obviously.
Brewster looking to get involved again. He takes the hits and the referee was happy with what he saw. From Beadle, who has missed the last couple of games with an injured ankle, and Thompson judged to have handled the ball. What Birmingham were doing yesterday. Derby's players came in late yesterday with a light training session before they boarded the bus to head to the second city. There's Adjiman. Adjiman coming on the outside across the face of goal, asking a question as well. It's Elder who goes on his weaker side, but John Eustace has been working on that with Patrick Adjiman to go on the outside of defenders rather than come inside.
Well, it keeps him honest. Yeah. That was brilliant from Adjiman.
There's Tomoki Iwata. Now Patrick Roberts. Through the gap, gets it back, it's Patrick Roberts. And Zetterstrom just about gets there. Ahead of Damari Gray, but Birmingham City offering a threat. And Patrick Roberts heavily involved. Zetterstrom leaves it to Matt Clark that time to take care of business. A loose touch from Brewster.
Oh, good energy at the start of this game, from both, to be fair. How good as Patrick Roberts does here, little give and go, lovely touch from Dukes. That's a really important block. Takes the pace out of the shot. Danny Bard it is. You can see Damari Gray not far away from getting on the end of that.
Damari Gray with the signal in front of the Derby County fans as he prepares to launch this corner kick, away by Clark. Chris Davis was calling for a fast, aggressive start from his Birmingham City players. They've given Derby something to think about.
They've had some slow starts, haven't they, recently? Conceding early goals.
Damari Gray has made the run in behind here. It's Damari Gray! And he is denied by the woodwork.
Oh, what a pass. What a run and what a pass. Makes it. It's a brilliant first touch by Damari Gray. Gives him a shooting opportunity. The way he cuts across. Ward there. Brilliant. Desperately unlucky.
Almost the perfect start for Birmingham City.
What a pass from Peck to find Damari Gray.
There's Roberts involved again. Roberts has got three players around him. Matt Clark just nudges him out of the way. The Birmingham appeals allowed from the supporters. No way out for Derby, who present the ball straight back to Birmingham. There's Roberts again. Iwata. Patrick Roberts once more. This time it's Langas doing the defending and a bit of respite for Derby.
Well, he's causing absolute chaos, Patrick Roberts, on this right-hand side. Constantly plays with his head up, little gives and goes, tries to get in between two Derby defenders here. And I do think the Derby defenders are entitled to close the door on that. They do. And Matt Clark uses his body, but that's legal from my perspective.
Patrick Roberts was at Derby under Wayne Rooney. Who do they know here? He's taken the fight to Derby here in the opening stages at St Andrews.
They had the one bright moment, didn't they, with Adjiman? And since then, it's been all Birmingham.
This is the place where they do take care of business, Birmingham City. 6 wins from 10, just the one defeat at home this season. Unbeaten here in League One last season. And they're flexing their muscle here at the start of this contest.
Yeah, very impressive home record. mystifying, really, the contrast, isn't it? It's not a small contrast. It's an absolute chasm, the difference between Birmingham at home and Birmingham away. As you can see there, from their perspective, away column is not pretty reading, and it has to improve.
Well, he's tried to change things, Chris Davies. He tweaked the team last week. Different personnel, but he doesn't want to change the playing style. Of course, they were down to 10 when Tommy Doyle was sent off after 18 minutes at Bramall Lane, but Sheffield United were already well on top in that game. They tried to make their hotel environments a bit more homely, the away dressing rooms environments a little bit more homely as well on the road. Nothing seems to be working on the road. And right now it is holding them back, but they once again are looking strong here on home territory. Owata with the cross. With the header, which spins behind for a Birmingham corner.
Really, his back's to the wall at the moment for Derby County.
Aaron Cashin waits to try and pounce against his former club. Clara is just behind him. Stansfield is free at the far post. It's dropped right on top of Zetterstrom. Clara tried to make an impact. It goes behind for another Birmingham City corner.
That's a wicked delivery from Damari Gray, right on the money into that area, whipped with pace. And Matt Clark really sticks to his guns there, doesn't he? Brilliant defending.
With a bit of a problem, which the referee was just checking on. Patrick Roberts will take the corner from this side. Pretty clear that time was from Joe Ward for Derby County. They are once again missing Carlton Morrison, will be up until February. They do look a different team without him, and they miss his presence in both boxes.
He was on fire, wasn't he? Unfortunate injury.
Damari Gray, seen off by Thompson. Gray beaten to it by Langas. There's Thompson. Strong challenge by Damari Gray, winning the ball back for the home team. Birmingham have come out here like they mean business. Albeit, Derby did open them up in the opening couple of minutes with that run from Adjiman.
Oh yeah, I mean, that literally is the only moment that that Derby County have had so far. For them at the moment, it's about digging in, protecting that clean sheet, and slowly growing into this.
Brewster got there ahead of Clara. Owata. Well, armbands being worn today to pay tribute to John Robertson. Awful news that John Robertson passed away yesterday, an absolute king at Nottingham Forest. But he also wore the badge of Derby County on his chest for a couple of seasons, albeit difficult seasons for the club in the 80s. John Robertson, such a talent. When Brian Clough is bigging you up and paying you compliments, that is how good a player you are.
Well, I think the phrase wing wizard was built for him. Incredible player, lovely man too.
Yeah, John Robertson remembered here today. It was his cross for Trevor Francis to score in the European Cup final. Trevor Francis, an absolute icon here at Birmingham City. There's Ward on the front foot. Adjiman waiting in the middle. He was just behind Clara. He holds his head because he knows that was a really good cross from Joe Ward.
Well, that's why I flagged him before kick-off, because this is what he's capable of, Joe Ward. The delivery is just stunning. I mean, he literally has only Adjiman in the penalty area to pick out, and he does it. And really, That is a big, big opportunity for Derby County to take the lead. It's right on the money. He completely misdirects it.
Damari Gray may have a bit of an issue, which is what we're hearing from the Birmingham City dugouts. That looks to be the case. Now he hits the deck, and he's made such a positive start to this contest, but the problem here for Chris Davis.
He's been a little bit like Stansfield, I was saying, been a constant really for Birmingham, and been pretty consistent. Been a brilliant signing. This is concerning.
At such a busy time too. Well, it was Derby who had the first attack of this game. Birmingham City have got a grip of it since, but Patrick Adjeman doing what John Eustace has asked him to do, going on the outside.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant skill. Fires it into a dangerous area. None of his teammates really anticipating it, but this is the bit where, for all the praise on the last piece, you have to be critical of that. It's a really poor header from a glorious cross.
Cost around about £7 million from Charlotte in MLS football, where he played under Dean Smith, a son of this city. Dean Smith, who moved him to that central striker's role at Charlotte, from operating from the left.
Well, I think Patrick Adjeman has got all the attributes to be one of the very, very best strikers in this division. It's a slow burner, arrived with an injury. But he's getting there now, Patrick Adjeman, for Derby County.
Damari Gray back on his feet for now, but what is the verdict? He has been scoring, he has been assisting, and it looks like his game is over here, because Lewis Kumas is stripped off down below us and ready to come on. So Lewis Kumas on loan here from Liverpool. Hasn't really had the game time he was hoping for. Liverpool may make a decision in January as to whether to recall him, or even maybe Birmingham City. But Kumas is on to show what he's all about now, and he does prefer to play on the left-hand side, and that is where he's going at the moment. Elder on the outside here, away by Peck.
Opportunity, isn't it, for Lewis Kumas, who hasn't had the game time, but you have to earn it. You can't just rock up from a Premier League club and expect you're going to be playing week in, week out. You have to earn it.
He was on loan at Stoke last season, made an impact there, Lewis Kumas, and now he's got an opportunity early on here in the Royal Blue of Birmingham. Roberts. There's Bobby Clark. Al Thompson. That's Matt Clark with the diagonal to pick out Joe Ward, who, as we've already seen in this game, is a threat moving forward in that wing-back role.
What a ball that is to Adjeman, who doesn't get his touch right. Again, the vision and the delivery from Joe Ward, outstanding. I can understand why a lot of the play in the early exchanges has gone down that Derby right.
There's Kumas. Managed to make room for the cross, but straight into the arms of Zennerstrom. Zetterstrom looking to pick out Ward, who's managed to link up with Brewster. Now Langas. Langas quickly hunted down. There's Danny Bart making his 5th league start of the season in the absence of Dion Sanderson, who is ineligible to play against his parent club.
Just settling down a little bit. I just wonder whether that injury to Damari Gray just allowed Derby County to get a bit of instruction. We see the foul there by Clara. Get a bit of instruction from John Eustace and calm things down. It just seems a little more calm than it did before that injury.
Joe Ward stands over this for Derby. Matt Clark is forward, Langas is there, Danny Bart is in the mix. Adjaman waits too. Ward drives that to Clark, target found, away by Iwata. There's Thompson. Zetterstrom. John Eustace feels that Derby, who were 12th in the table coming into this, are probably where they should be right now in terms of performances. They were at their best when he was picking a consistent team around about October, November time, when they won 5 in a row and Carlton Morris was firing.
Only other team apart from Coventry City, aren't they, to win 5 games in a row? It's no mean feat.
On the back foot here, but dealt with by Matt Clark. Invited the challenge. There's Iwata again. Now Peck. Jack Robinson, who has been operating at left back, but has moved inside into his more natural centre back position today.
Through the first 20 minutes, the away team, that certainly after the first 10 would have been the objective, no doubt about it.
To latch onto that. There's Iwata moving up the gears. Roberts is in space on this near side. Patrick Roberts managed somehow to get the shot away, but Zetterstrom is right behind it.
He's been the bright spark, hasn't he? It's right inside for Birmingham City. Every time he gets the ball, I feel like he could make something happen. Comfortable for Zetterstrom though.
It's Bobby Clark who's got a bit of a problem now for Derby County. He's back on his feet. He's just having a word with the referee by the looks of it.
Chris Davis is furious with the 4th official about something below us.
Shown his versatility this season, Bobby Clark, who's played out wide and as an attacking midfielder, but has dropped deep into a deep central midfield role. Derby missing key players in that area, the likes of Lewis Travis and Ozo. Still feeling the effects of that challenge, Bobby Clark. There's Iwata. Cashin came through the youth system at Derby County before heading off to Brighton. Robinson. That ball to Patrick Roberts, and again the target has been found. Roberts up against Matt Clark. It's Patrick Roberts. Roberts! Seen off for now by Langas, but it's Patrick Roberts who is causing Derby problems here.
Yeah. Easy, isn't it? Instruction. If you're Birmingham City, get the ball to Patrick Roberts. It's as simple as that.
A foul by Brewster.
Shake of the head, probably feels he should be doing better. I'm not so sure. You have to give credit to Langas, who gets his body between the goal and the ball, and it's a good job looking at that angle, because that was flying into that corner. I don't think the goalkeeper's getting that.
Well, he is effective here, Patrick Roberts. Was taken out of the starting 11 at Bramall Lane last week when Chris Davis was just trying to mix a few things up. Clara. Iwata. Clark tidies up.
He's the one, isn't he? Marvin Duksh, who's just struggling to get involved in this game.
Well, he has told Chris Davis that he has found a huge difference between playing here in the Championship and playing in the Bundesliga. And he's still trying to adjust to that, the physicality of the Championship and the balls he has to fight for at times.
Yeah, look, he may look like a big lad, but he's more technical than physical, isn't he? Marvin Duksh, from what I've seen, certainly. A golden spell where he got himself on the score sheet. That's the kind of thing.
There's Patrick Roberts. He's unable to continue the attack. He's trying to win the ball back, but commits an offence in the process.
You're just not going to get that kind of time in those areas. Lewis Kumas just needs to be sharper, needs to be more aware of what's around him. Home team with a lot more of the ball. Only Adjamang for Derby County has touched the ball less than Marvin Duksh, albeit that last touch was pretty good.
Well, 54 goals in 134 games for Werder Bremen, 40 assists during that time as well. He can be hugely effective, Marvin Duksh. But again, he's another that was just taken out of the team for the away trip last week, and Jay Stansfield moved back to his number 9 position. Iwata. Roberts again. Faced by Callum Elder. There's a bit of space here for Leonard, who can't hit them from distance. Likes to chip the ball in that time, and Stansfield heads over the top.
Just a fraction behind Jay Stansfield. Not sure whether it's the ball that could have been better or the fact that Stansfield gets in a little early. Either way, the ball ends up just a fraction behind him.
Nicely done by Thompson.
Doesn't panic, does he?
I think others might. There's Thompson again to Clark. He's a busy character though at the heart of the Derby midfield is Liam Thompson. Clark looking for Breton Diaz, who's beaten to it by Peck. Now Duksh. There's Jay Stansfield. Kumas has gone for the return. Kumas, no way through. There have been nearly moments for Birmingham City so far, but this is Brewster. And Adjamang is up there with him. Brewster, it's Adjamang! Brilliantly done by Derby County. Fantastic combination between Ryan Brewster and Patrick Adjamang. And it's Derby County who land the first blow on Boxing Day, and Birmingham City feel the pain.
Well, I think this is something that Derby County could even try more than they do. It's counter-attacking at its absolute best. All comes from a Birmingham City attack. Down their left, the cross gets blocked. And before you know it, Derby are on the other end, on the attack. And it's this ball here. Look at the run from Brewster. He knows Jack Robinson. He knows his former teammate that he would have the legs, but Clara goes across and leaves Adjemang. And that is the wrong decision, really. At the moment, Brewster's wide. Adjemang's in the middle of the goal. You cannot leave him in isolation. Brewster has to pick him out. Of course he does. But he does it perfectly. And this time, criticised the header before. This one's perfect.
Well, Birmingham City, who've had problems when they've left these four walls behind this season, have now got trouble on their own doorstep. And Clark tries to release Adjemang again. Beadle gets to it. Roberts. A slip from Thompson, but he still has the presence of mind to help win it back.
Well, these two teams between them, they've only won one game all season when they've conceded the first goal, and that was Birmingham up at Blackburn Rovers, the first away game of the season back in August. So, certainly for Derby County, getting the first goal here could prove huge.
Big moment too for John Eustace. Back on his old patch.
For all the praise I've given him, can't get away with that now. Thought he was being clever, dribbling the ball away, delaying the restart. Yellow card. Now you've got to be careful.
So Derby fans, you can hear inside St Andrews right now. Over 2,000 have travelled here today. A sellout at St Andrews, and it's Derby County who have the edge right now. Kumas. Kumas again. To wrap his foot around the ball for the cross, and he forces the corner.
They need a response. Birmingham City can't afford to feel sorry for themselves. Already flagged up how good they've been here at St Andrews over the last 18 months or so.
Clutch of players are gathered at the near post. It goes in low. Peck will latch onto it. Langas gets his head on it. Clara's still lurking. There's Jay Stansfield. Danny Bart with a block. Another big block from Danny Bart. It bounces up onto the arm of Patrick Roberts. And Derby get the free kick.
It's a strange handball rule in football, isn't it? Where if a defender does that and accidentally hits his arm like that, I don't think the penalty's given. But because it's a forward, they always give them.
Used to be a striker, did we?
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
Away by Clark. Clara stepping in. There's Patrick Roberts. He has been influential in the opening half an hour here, and he wins the free kick.
Again, get Patrick Roberts on the ball. He's not making something happen. He's being fouled and earning set pieces.
Birmingham City looking for the answer here. Cashin, Clara, Robinson are all in there, hoping for something to come their way. In by Leonard, Clara underneath it. There was, the flag is up on this near side.
The flag went up after the referee had already penalised a Birmingham player, so either way, take your pick. Certainly you can see quite get back in time.
County top 3 when it comes to away form this season in the Championship. Don't fear going anywhere.
Well, they're set up, the way they're set up really probably suits them being away from home, where the onus is more on the home team. And you can see they're comfortable with the opposition having the ball. Birmingham miles more. And they hit them on the counter, which, as I said, I think they should probably benefit from more, but that was only the second goal that they've got from a fast break, which really surprised me when I looked at that, looking at the players that they have. But they were ruthless, turned defence into attack in the blink of an eye.
Stansfield, there's Dux. Stansfield went for the return, is crowded out. Now Brayton Diaz, no way out. Then it's in strongly on him. Big boots to fill today in the absence of the suspended Tommy Doyle. Tommy Doyle, a player who likes to play forward instinctively, and also he's plays a big part in delivering Birmingham City set pieces, but they'll be without him for 3 games after his sending off at Bramall Lane last week. Cashin. There's Leonard. Now Clara. Robinson. That's Peck. Clark. Looking for Adjaman. There's Elder. Brayton Diaz popped up in a pocket of space, but it got away from him.
Again, a better touch, and he's in, you know, Ben Brayton Diaz. Comes at him quickly in his defence.
Starting today, 4 points off the top 6. All in 6th position. They're just kicking off now in their game against Ipswich at the Den. Congested championships.
It is, and that's why it's a real opportunity for so many clubs this season. These two are just amongst many.
Matt Clark. That's Robinson. Tommy Doyle's boots being big to fill. So too Alex Cochrane, who again is missing for Birmingham City today. Aaron Cashin having to operate in this left-back role, but they are without a backup left-back at Birmingham City, which is something you'd imagine they will look at in the January window. Because Alex Cochrane is a big player for them in that left-back role. Iwata. Moved on by Peck to Roberts. He's got Thompson after him. There's Iwata again. Surrounded in the Derby box, and Elder takes care of business. Iwata. Clark sticking a foot in. Robinson. There's Cashin. Now Kumas and Zenestrom. The big call there for Langas to leave it.
Excellent. Took control, the goalkeeper, didn't he?
Adjaman getting the better of Iwata and holding off Leonard as well. Adjaman showing his strength, then hits the deck and gets the free kick.
It's excellent. Absolutely excellent. I know they haven't had as much of the ball, but I think Brewster and Adjumang, they're carrying a real threat whenever Derby County get up the pitch and get those two on the ball. Draws the foul. And Leonard falls for it.
He seems to be growing with every game, Patrick Adjumang. Used to play for a team called the Rhode Island Rams, so probably poetic that he ended up at Derby County.
Well, coming into this game, 42% of Derby County's goals were from set pieces. They do excel, and Birmingham, on the flip side of that, not particularly brilliant defending them.
Lifted in by Elder, away by Beadle. Ball was met the wall, but it didn't reach him. And now Patrick Roberts. He's got Stansfield up there with him. Roberts is caught by Hall, who's already on a yellow. And there's the second yellow. And Joe Ward is sent off. And that first yellow card has really cost him. And it could cost Derby County big time.
Well, silly first yellow card, but this is even sillier. He has a duty of care when he's chasing a player to make sure that legs do not tangle, and he doesn't. Does he actually even flick a leg out deliberately? Yeah, he has a little flick to trip Patrick Roberts. He can have no complaints, and that he has really let his team down, and he's going to be praying in that dressing room that they can get poor from him, a player who I picked up before kick-off. Crazy.
Well, he knows he's on a yellow. He's made that decision there to flick out the boot to stop Patrick Roberts. The referee had absolutely no choice.
No. The silly thing is, he could have done that as a tactical foul had he not got a stupid yellow card for delaying the restart. It's bonkers.
It was Birmingham City who were on the other side of having a player sent off last week. Now they're looking to benefit. And they're looking to strike back here. It's Dukes! And it's held by Zetterstrom.
I love this from a goalkeeper. Goalkeeper that backs himself to catch something like that rather than punch it away.
It was unusual to see that.
Yeah. Look at the lift, feel the lift, the crowd, feel the lift that that red card has given Birmingham City fans here. The onus now on Birmingham.
They weren't too happy there that Tomoki Iwata went backwards. These Birmingham fans have really bought into the way that Chris Davis wants to play here. Of course they would when they were winning games week after week last season. Zetterstrom holds on to that one too.
Yeah, the problem the goalie's got now is he's only got 8 seconds and the referee's hand is already in the air, and if he doesn't get rid of it soon, it's not like he can run the clock down now, and so the onus is on a Derby County player to make themselves available.
There's Cashin. Away by Rhian Brewster. Plenty of football coming your way in the Championship today on Sky Sports Plus. You can see all of these games. Millwall already underway against Ipswich in South East London. Goalless there at the Den at the moment. Millwall, who are in 6th position in the Championship. That is live on Sky Sports Plus. Here right now, Derby in the ascendancy, but another twist just before the break with that red card shown to Joe Ward. It's a long, lonely walk back down that corridor to the away dressing room here.
He'll be sat in the dressing room with his head in his hands now, I can tell you, having been there. He'll be praying his team can bail him out. Got themselves into such a good position in this game. They had Birmingham City right where they wanted them. It will change now.
is such a threat too, as we've already seen, motoring down the right. But here come Birmingham City, dealt with by Elder. Iwata trying to go through the legs of Callum Elder, who stood his ground, and Iwata thought he was being fouled in the process. The referee says no. Leonard. Iwata. Roberts will get room to cross, digs that cross out, away by Langas. No way out for Derby right now though. Leonard, Clara. Derby are surrounded here. Iwata. Roberts. Birmingham moved the ball wide again, and Roberts cuts infield and tried to smuggle it home, but Zetterstrom alive to it.
Well, you can see there in that 2 minutes period there, every Derby County player back, really narrow, trying to block channels through the middle, force Birmingham wide, and then they've got to back themselves to defend the crosses, really.
Yeah, right now they got Ben Brereton Diaz, who is operating in the Joe Ward role at right wing back. Zetterstrom has gone down here.
What are you looking at me like that for?
Well, he has a bit of an issue. We are close to the break here, so Zetterstrom has got back to his feet now, and John Eustace will be able to dish out a few instructions in the dressing room at half-time.
Maybe that's a rare goalkeeper going down genuinely. Unfortunately, John Eustace is going to be fuming. So if you watch Joe Ward here, look, the whistle's gone, and he turns around and he dribbles the ball back. You know you can't do it, and it's too late. The referee's onto him. This one, when you're on a yellow card, I mean, it's crazy. Patrick Roberts has so much to do to score a goal from there. I'm sure it's one he'll regret.
Derby down to 10. Hearing will be heading towards 5 additional minutes at the end of the first half. As Birmingham look to try and make their one-man advantage count. Overhit from Robinson.
Referee ambling over because he's mindful that Derby County will waste as much time as they can to get the ball back in. Look at the referee there. He's on it.
Of those 5 additional minutes. There's Iwata. He's very much playing in this right-back role these days. He's asked to step into midfield from that right-back role during games. Here he is, lets it go, and then he was caught by Clark as he tried to move for the return pass.
Strange when you see defenders pleading their innocence when they're clearly guilty. That's exactly what he's doing here, Matt Clark. Thou shalt not pass, it's a foul.
Birmingham City looking to hit back before the break here. Conversation between Leonard and Patrick Roberts. Has moved away. What do they have up their sleeve here? In by Leonard. It's a great ball into a great area, but no takers.
Well, slap of the thigh from Chris Davis down below us, because it's as good as it gets. It just is. It's into that brilliant corridor. Not a Birmingham player anywhere near the ball, and they should be, really. He's done his job, hasn't he? Leonard, a little shake of the head, and I'm with you, Chris.
A frosty reception he received by a section of Birmingham City fans at Bramall Lane last week after that 3-0 defeat. Chris Davis, and he knows there is a bit of outside noise, but he's got enough credit in the bank here after what he achieved last season, bringing Birmingham City back to the Championship at the first time of asking with a record 111 points. But they are hugely ambitious here. They want to be back in the Premier League ASAP. Certainly by the time the new stadium is up in 2030.
If they're not there then, they'll have gone through quite a few managers by then if they're not in the Premier League, because they are hugely ambitious. They've not built that new stadium for it to be best in class in the Championship, that's for sure.
Pumas cashing on the outside, off the head of Langas. There's Leonard. Roberts again. Leonard continued his run, matched stride for stride though by Bobby Clark. Derby counting down the seconds to the half-time whistle here. Roberts with it, it's a deep one as well, and Stansfield rose. He goes behind for a goal kick.
Well, it's not straightforward sometimes against 10 men. The boys in the studio will tell you that. Chris Davis will tell you that. If you're that team with a man less, you can make it unbelievably hard for your opponents, and that's Derby's job. The onus very much on Birmingham City.
Yeah, Birmingham have to try and make the pitch as big as possible. Matt Clark. Atchiman giving chase, hooked away by Robinson. Stansfield. Now Owata. Roberts again, the outlet on this side of the pitch. Looks for Owata, who'll have to stretch, and he managed to get to it, Tomoki Owata.
It's excellent from Danny Bart, anticipating the pass was going to land.
He's made a couple of important blocks as well in the first half here today, Danny Bart. Leonard. Pumas to try his luck again. He's made room for the cross again, Pumas. There's Matt Clark again. And Atchiman trying to make life difficult for Clara, and that was the final act of the first 45 minutes, and Derby County are in front at St Andrews at the break. A brilliant breakaway involving Rhian Brewster and finished by Patrick Atchiman for Derby County in front. But then they were reduced to 10 men when Ben Toner showed 2 yellow cards to Joe Ward. The first was for dribbling the ball away after play had stopped. The second was for a cynical foul on Patrick Roberts. Derby down to 10, but they lead at the break. Birmingham City 0, Derby County 1.
It's the second highest XG in a first half for Birmingham this season, reflected with these chances, Curtis. Will they be kicking themselves that they're not at least on level terms?
Yeah, this one was just a half chance. You know, Damari nearly gets his toe to it, but the keeper does really well. And this was an excellent ball through by Peck. And this is the one he'll be disappointed with. Second touch, just maybe a bit too close to him, ends up slipping and hits it against the post. But yeah, it's been a good half down this right-hand side for Patrick Roberts, and Clinton was really impressed with him.
Yeah, he caused loads of problems, Roberts. I thought he was brilliant. That's not a penalty for me. Well, you never know. On a different outside the box anyway, they wanted a foul, but
I mean, if you tell me that is a penalty or that isn't a penalty.
No, it isn't, because it was outside the box. I was just double-checking there. But Roberts is causing, here, comes inside, shoot now, takes that extra touch. And I think it's decision-making for Birmingham in that final third. But he'll be happy that they're creating chances, for sure.
Let's not forget as well, Damari Gray did have to leave the pitch, a bright spark. Cut short in the first half of Birmingham City. A couple of changes for Derby County. Curtis, what's your thought?
Well, we spoke, and I thought Ebou Adams would come on possibly for either Brewster or for Brereton Diaz, and then maybe, you know, Thompson moved to right wing back. But it looks like Ebou Adams and Curtis Nelson are going to come on. So I'm interested to see who Nelson comes on for and what they'll do, because they've already got 3 centre halves on the pitch. So yeah, I'm interested to see if they change maybe to a 4-4-1 and bank up and try and stop Birmingham.
Okay, let's get the lowdown now. It's St Andrews on those changes. John Eustace just making his way along the touchline, knows very well indeed. Don Goodman, Gary Weaver, fill us in, please.
Yes, thank you, David. So, double change, as you mentioned, Curtis Nelson, Ebou Adams on. It's Rhian Brewster and Ben Brereton Diaz the two who have made way at the break here. So 2 attackers withdrawn, 1 midfielder and 1 centre-back on. As John Eustace moves things around after Joe Ward's red card in that first half. The 2 yellows. Derby County with the advantage thanks to the goal from Patrick Adjeman, who may well be an isolated figure in the second half by the looks of things. Looks like it's still for now a back 5 as Derby are setting up in the second half. Don, your thoughts on the changes?
Yeah, makes sense really. Looks like Langas will be right wing back, so to speak. Ibu Adams legs in midfield. Clearly they're expecting the onslaught, Derby, and that's the whole idea of the 2 substitutions, really, to cope with that.
Well, the last time Birmingham did trail at the break here in the Championship this season at St Andrews was against Hull, 2-1 down at the break then. They lost that game by 3 goals to 2, the only time they have been beaten here in the Championship this season. They are attacking the favoured Chiltern end in the second half here. There's Clara. Awata. Now Roberts, who was lively in the first half. Awata again. Patrick Roberts. Leonard picks up the baton, runs into trouble. Hoping it's the outcome.
Yeah, look, if you're Derby trying to force Birmingham City into wide areas and put crosses in, you'd back yourselves, wouldn't you, with a back line of Clark, Bart, Langas, Curtis Nelson. These are big lads whose strength is really heading the ball from crosses away. That seems to be the idea from John Eustace.
You just wonder whether a John Eustace team is built to absorb losing a man, losing a player, and whether this formation Derby play is likewise built to absorb that when it happens.
If you're Birmingham, you've got to get the crowd involved. It's been quiet, and he will be loving the fact that it's quiet at the moment. Onus on these Birmingham players to get this crowd off their seats and involved in the game, and things like that are really not going to help.
And a hand of apology from Aaron Cashin. They need a bit of Christmas cheer, don't they? As do you, Don, but I didn't like to say.
Love you too, Gary.
Always a smile. That's Clark. Robinson. There's Kumas. If you missed it earlier, that Chris Davis has made 5 changes for this today for Birmingham City, and they did lose to Moray Gray to injury in the first half. Bobby Clark trying to bulldoze his way through, and he wins the free kick.
Excellent from Derby all round. First of all, they win the ball back off Lewis Kumas, and then they get it forward into Adjeman. Lovely little chest. Clark willing to take a gamble, nicks it off Leonard, and then he fights and he scraps and he draws the foul there. Look, brilliant from Derby.
A booking for Christoph Clara. A free kick for Derby County, attacking the end where their fans are. Over 2,000 have made the around about 45-mile journey from Derby to Birmingham today.
I wonder whether Callum Elder would really fancy this, because we've seen him and Joe Ward score some outrageous free kicks this season. I mean, why not? It's a long way out, but for me, it's worth a go.
What are they saying? Have you just heard what Don just said? Will it be Clark? Will it be Elder? It's Elder. It took a nick off the wall, and it will be a corner.
Yeah, definitely worth a go. The consolation of a corner, but that was on target. Now they're a big team, by the way. Big team, and they're good at set pieces. We've pointed that out. already.
Yeah, the added threat now of Curtis Nelson, who is so good at trying to make the first contact in these kind of situations. He's getting involved there. Jake Stansfield doing the marking right in front of Beadle. Sent in towards that near post where Matt Clark was waiting, but likewise Jack Robinson was. Thompson. Plenty forward, including Nelson, and beyond him, and Langas had a swing. Birmingham has survived. Good header as it turned out from Roberts to pick out Peck, which is not easy to say. There's Dux. Now Adjiman. He's all on his own at the moment, but he's driving in the heart of Birmingham City. It's Adjiman. Adjiman across the face of goal, and no one's there.
Well, in the defence, I don't think anybody had the pace to get up with him.
Ibu Adams. He's seen off for now. If that was on a plate for anyone in a Derby County shirt, he would have been waiting in the middle.
The tall order, asking anybody to keep up with him.
Once again, though, he did what John Eustace has asked. He went on the outside. There's Peck. Now Iwata. Patrick Roberts. Iwata, bit of room here to measure this. Comfortably dealt with.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to back themselves to deal with that kind of delivery. Those Derby County defenders a bit more creative here, Birmingham.
Kumas sends that ball in. Dux. Stansfield will try and get to it as Dux hits the deck, and the referee is not interested. Now Iwata. Iwata forces a Birmingham City corner.
He's got his arms out, he's waving at the referee. Look, ball comes in. He's being held. I mean, it's a dangerous game from Matt Clark. Very dangerous, but then the referee may feel that Dux is backing in, and that's partly the reason he's gone down.
Corner arrowed in. Once again, it was Curtis Nelson who got to it. Frustration for Patrick Roberts.
Well, it's not the first time I've seen Matt Clark defend like this, with arms around a forward. He's backing into him, but that is a huge risk. I can understand the annoyance of Birmingham City, of Marvin Dux, because that, well, if it's given a penalty, I don't think he can have any complaints.
Yeah, he grabbed hold, he kept hold, rather than release.
It's going to be really important to get Derby up the pitch in the isolated occasions that they can, but you can see why nobody can get up there for the tap-in. He's just too quick and too far ahead of his teammates.
Did brilliantly to get into that position. Patrick Adjiman, who is a growing force in the Championship. He was still on a rookie contract when he left Charlotte for Derby County. There was a campaign amongst the Charlotte fans to pay Pat. That was the slogan.
Well, I would say from everything that I've seen, he has all the attributes to be one of the best strikers in this division.
Cash in. Kumas. Operating where he wants to operate on the left-hand side, Lewis Kumas, since coming on for the injured Damari Gray. Cash in. Away by Clark. This Derby defence may have to get through plenty of defending in this second half. The team as a whole. There's Leonard. Iwata. Now Clara. Robinson. Cash in. Kumas away from Langas. Derby again defending stoutly as Stansfield looked to pounce. And now Ibu Adams will collect for Derby, a push in the back from Cashin again. It's another silly decision because Ibu Adams wasn't really going anywhere, didn't really have any support.
No. It's everything that Derby will need to go their way in the second half. Resilient defending, carrying a threat. And this comes from a recycled corner. Bounces awkwardly. Langas very nearly there. Jack Robinson it is that gets a good block. The pattern has been set.
Clara with the header away. It's a handball by Stansfield. The answer is yes.
I don't think the referee's got any choice but to give handball for that. Again, you would say it's a long, long way out. It's even further than the last one. So you'd be disappointed if James Beadle was beaten from there, but you just wonder whether it's worth that 1 in 100 that might find the back of the net.
Returning James Beadle, building a two-man wall. And once again, Clark and Elder, the two having a look at it. Clark moves away. Nelson makes his move on this side of the pitch, and Nelson got free. And he was the target, but he couldn't connect with it.
Yeah, well worked. I'm really surprised Aaron Cashin wasn't alive to this, having played with him before, played for Derby. Times his run brilliantly. Maybe should be doing a little better.
It's those kind of situations that Derby have to try and make the most of here, with their 10 men in the second half.
Yeah, look, set pieces and counter-attacks, that's all it's about for Derby, as well as staying solid, trying to keep a clean sheet.
The changes are imminent here from Birmingham City. Kyogo, one of those, will be coming on shortly. There's Kumas, no way past Langas. Cashin steps in. Zetterström is fouled.
Yeah, it's a foul. It's a foul. Marvin Dux it is, just eases Zetterström out the way. Holding his shoulders, he landed awkwardly, but that there from Dux, not looking at the ball, leans into the goalkeeper. It's a foul.
So Birmingham making the double change here. Alphonse Samsted has come on for Aaron Cashin, and Kyogo replaces Marvin Dux. He's had a frustrating time up front for Birmingham City today. So Kyogo, who's still waiting for his first championship goal in a Birmingham City shirt. In terms of chances he's had, the XG is around about 4 goals. So Kyogo's had opportunities, he hasn't taken them in the championship. He is on to lead the Birmingham City attack.
A different test for those Derby County defenders. Movement, pace, mobility. Look to run in behind a lot more than Dux was doing.
Well, it is Boxing Day, a huge day of football around the country. Millwall against Ipswich, goalless at half-time in South East London. That's available on Sky Sports Plus, as are all of these 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Championship. Here, Derby have the edge, but are down to 10.
And that's what they need from Patrick Agyemang, running in behind. Only need to get one of those right to force another chance.
Because Samstead is now at left back, having replaced Erin Cashin. Mentioned in the first half, Alex Cochrane, Birmingham City's only really specialised left back, out injured right now, is a huge miss. He's injured ahead of the game against Sheffield United. Kumas. Langas steps across it. Kumas manages to hang on to possession. Here's Peck. Samstead. Now Clara, there's a tangle inside the box involving Kyogo and Danny Barth, and Barth is down and Derby have got the free kick.
Well, I would assume that the assistant referee, who will be in line with the last defender, will have had full eyes on this, because it's off the ball. Communication via the headset. Keep your eyes. Danny Barth just pushes him a little bit. He gets frustrated. There's a little nibble at Danny Barth, nothing extreme.
Look at these Derby County defenders: Curtis Nelson, Danny Barth, Matt Clark, Sondre Langas. They will relish this kind of battle, won't they?
Look out for the dark arts.
Bart's there ahead of Kyogo. Adjiman in a scrap with Clara. Going the way of Derby.
The referees are getting more and more switched on to players trying to buy cheap free kicks. Pays your money, it takes your chance. If you're going to go down and you don't get it, it's on you.
Elder with the throw, picking out Patrick Adjiman, who hits the deck again. Elder tries to wrestle possession back for Derby. Kyogo. Now Stansfield. Clark with the intervention that time. More frustration for the home fans here. That throw, I think, did initially go in from Clark and then went out. There's Leonard. Now Kumas. Trying to give Ibu Adams the slip. Stansfield. Thompson. Leonard steps in. Kumas again. There's Roberts. Patrick Roberts given away in the end, but he has got the free kick. The referee played the advantage and now pulls it back.
Looks like you're saying he could have given any one of 3 or 4 challenges as a foul. I mean, there's the first one. And there's the one that he does penalise.
Patrick Roberts playing under a man he knows well in Chris Davis. They were together at Celtic. And Chris Davis was the assistant manager. Mark Leonard has eyes on this. As Birmingham City look for this elusive equalising goal. Clara in a scrap with Adjiman. Just inside the Derby box. Leonard's delivery, Robinson tries to get to it, and it's forced over the line, is it? The referee checks his wrist and says, goal! Jack Robinson was right on the scene, the ball was forced over the line, and Birmingham City make their one-man advantage count big time.
Well, I don't think it had a shot in the second half against 10 men. And would this go down as a shot? It's a bundle, isn't it, really? Really not sure how that finds the back of the net, but Langas is the back man Robinson gets up well. There's Adjumang on the floor there. Oh, messy from a Derby County perspective. But if you're Birmingham City, you do not care. It was always going to be something like that because they really hadn't carved out a chance. And now this is game on here.
Messi, but not Lionel. A thing of beauty though for Birmingham City. Kyogo has just been involved in an incident again. I think he was on the wrong end of it this time. I think.
That's from the kickoff. Again, Curtis Nelson. I mean, defenders shouldn't be allowed to do that. Sorry. And I know what you're going to say. Spoken like an ex-striker.
Yeah, but look at all the players there. The way they all broke on the referee and sprinted back into the Derby half, and the free kick has been given because of that. How the mood has changed inside St Andrews. Jack Robinson levelling up for Birmingham City. A scruffy goal, but a thing of beauty for him and for Birmingham. And is that the platform that they can now build up? Bumping header away by Danny Bart. There's Roberts. Peck. Kumas. Blocked by Langas. Kumas again. There's Peck. Roberts. Now Leonard. To link up with Samsted.
Still a long way to go in this game, and Derby have been doing so well against the extra man. It's Birmingham's first effort in the second half against 10 men. Call it an effort?
Kind of apologetic effort,
yeah,
but it counted.
Absolutely.
Robinson made his presence count, and he's stepping up again here. Well, that would have been sublime from Jack Robinson. The antithesis of his goal.
It's one of those theories that if you've got a centre half shooting from there, that you're doing all right, but he nearly pulls it off. Jack Robinson, super strike. But Zetterstrom has proved to be one of the best goalkeepers in this league.
Birmingham City are right on top of Derby County now. Leonard sends that ball in. Adjumang helping out defensively. Samsted. Forward by Roberts. Clara gets his head on it. There's Clark. No messing about from Langas. And Adjumang in a scrap potentially here with Patrick Roberts. And Adjumang almost got the better of Patrick Roberts. He just about outwitted him in the end. Helped out by the touchline. Kumas. Langas tries to find a way out of trouble. Here's Ibu Adams, who again looks to try and release Adjumang. The referee gives the foul against Clara.
Well, he's on a second yellow, so this is interesting. I think the referee's done Christophe Clara a huge favour. John Eustace below us is absolutely fuming. How on earth can that not be a yellow card? He's in. He's beyond Clara. This is controversial, and I fully understand Derby's grievances there. He is fuming, and I understand why. Has to be a second yellow. Has to be.
Well, there is going to be a yellow, but I think it's going to go the way of John Eustace. And the Derby County boss on his return to Birmingham is booked.
Well, I think the referee's had a brilliant game. Honestly, I do. But he's just made a bit of a clanger here for me. Unless... looks like Clara's got away with it.
Beadle comes and Beadle claims.
John Eustace below as he's still going on at the fourth official. I do get it.
Yeah, it's Ollie Langford down there who called the referee over. A Watters cross. There's Peck. There's a big moment in this game now. Kumas with the ball in. Away by Danny Bart. Kumas again, tempting two Derby players in. Kumas slips. Ibu Adams hits the deck. Derby can have a bit of a breather, and now
a hand in the face.
A little bit of afters. Langas moves away.
What's the referee seen here? What colour is this? Yellow.
The yellow card shown to Jay Stansfield.
I don't know whose it was, but I felt like I saw a hand in the face.
Langas.
Let's have a look at this. Yeah. Adams here. A little bit of afters. Stansfield kicks the ball away. It's not a hand, it's a shoulder. A little shoulder from Stansfield. But I'm assuming he gets a yellow card for one or the other there, either the shoulder or kicking the ball away.
Sondre Langas also yellow carded in that incident. There's Jay Stansfield. Curtis Nelson doing the covering that time. Confirmation of the yellow card to Sondre Langas, who was playing through pain last season to help Derby County survive. Stansfield, Ibu Adams stepping in. We've got some scrap here in the final 20 minutes or so.
It's feisty as well.
It's Boxing Day. Stansfield with the ball in. Robertson up above Adjaman. Now Clark. Incidentally, that was Jack Robertson's first goal for Birmingham City. He's seen red a couple of times this season in a Birmingham City shirt. He scored his first goal for the men in royal blue. You don't want to remember. There's Iwata.
Chew off his Christmas card list.
Never on anyone's. Kyogo tries to get to that. Another really important touch from Danny Bart. Adjaman. Clark diving in. Commits the foul.
The referee's going to have his hands full here for what remains of this game. Fast and furious. Temperatures high.
Well, Patrick Roberts just typified the mood there. He got up, he dusted himself down, he limped away, and now there's a problem for Ibu Adams. And Samstead is about to be yellow carded.
I think it was Peck, wasn't it?
Peck?
Yeah. Leaves one in there late. Ball's gone.
It was Peck.
You break this down forensically. Is there a hand by Jack Robinson in here? Well, there is. So in the Premier League, that wouldn't count. But we're not in the Premier League. Hopefully for Jack Robinson and Birmingham City. But there's no doubt as the ball comes down between players, it comes off Jack Robinson's hand there. Look. As I said, Birmingham don't care, nor should they.
Officials would have to be really sharp to see
absolutely.
that. Ibu Adams. Samstead in the way. And Samstead gets the free kick. The game littered with free kicks and fouls right now.
Do you know what? It's not bad for Derby. It's not bad for Derby.
Kyogo. Clark that time, stepping in. There's Roberts. Well, Birmingham City with the big ambitions to be in the fight for the top six. We'll see this as a real opportunity to get the better of Derby County. Derby down to 10. Birmingham have levelled up. Chris Davis may well be making another change shortly.
This is big. Big Birmingham's next 3 games, as hard as they get. Really tough fixtures coming. There aren't any easy ones, are they, to be fair?
Kyogo. Well, he's gone down and he holds on to Curtis Nelson, who has a word or two in the ear of Kyogo. Once again, the temperature rises.
Curtis Nelson claiming Kyogo has a little lash out here as he shields him. Just swivels around.
So Willemsen and Dykes are the two being readied here by Chris Davis and Birmingham City. We're hearing Mark Leonard and Lewis Kumas will be the two to be withdrawn here. Willemsen, who's just back from injury. Leonard Dykes, a player that could well be out of the door here in January. If he gets the opportunity of more game time elsewhere as World Cup year approaches. Leonard. Here is Kumas, who will be disappointed to be withdrawn, having come on earlier on in the game for the injured Damari Gray. Leonard picks out Roberts beautifully. Patrick Roberts ricochets behind for a Birmingham corner. So here come the changes. Lyndon Dykes on, and Lewis Kumas withdrawn. Came on as a substitute in the first half. Dykes on. Chance here possibly for him to really make an impact. Off goes Mark Leonard, and on comes Willemsen.
Again, size has been brought into the fray here, understandably.
Once again, a clutch of players gathered at the near post. It goes towards the far post and evades everybody.
Well, understandable from Chris Davis. He's seen his team huff and puff, and really a set-piece equaliser bundled in by Jack Robinson. Maybe he feels that that's the best way that they're going to win this game and score another goal, is another set piece. Hence the introduction, Lyndon Dykes and Willem Willemsen.
Peyton Jackson being readied, but Chris Davis has just urged Tomoki Iwata to step into midfield here. And Samstead has moved over to the far side. There's Adjaman. Adjamani may well have to be reintroduced to his teammates at the end of this game, because he's been a solitary figure in the second half, understandably.
Well, he's put a shift in.
We're hearing he's coming off shortly. Peyton Jackson will replace him. Elder's throw. There's Bart. Fired in by Clark, straight on top of Beadle. A quick release on the Birmingham keeper. Dykes looking to make something of it. Here's Ibu Adams. Mentioned Derby being without key players, and John Eustace has felt they have ran out of legs in games since the likes of Carlton Morris and David Ozo were injured, and he's turned to his bench. He doesn't feel it's been as strong as it has been earlier this season because of those injuries. Mentioned before, they hope Lewis Travis is available to potentially start games at the turn of the year. Adjaman. This will do for Derby right now. Centre-backs have been encouraged to move forward here. Nelson, Danny Bart in the mix. Zelda prepares to launch this throw. Matt Clark forward too, off the head of Adjaman. Here is Matt Clark. Nelson tried to do something with it, but now Birmingham hunting something on the counter-attack. It's Kyogo, and Sondre Langas covers the ground. He hits the deck. Play goes on. Jay Stansfield. Derby players are swarming back. Ibu Adams holds off Stansfield.
It's brilliant recovery from those Derby players. Smelt the danger.
Stansfield once more. Now Jack Robinson. Stansfield, and Adams is in the way. Now Tomoki Iwata. Iwata goes for it. Took a nick as well, which could have been problematic for Zetterstrom, but he stands his ground.
Yeah, heart would have been in the mouth from a Derby perspective once it deflected off Curtis Nelson, but didn't deviate. Straight through to Zetterstrom.
Adjaman doesn't get the free kick he was looking for. Birmingham were held to a draw here. Last time out here by Charlton. Right now, it's frustration again, but Lyndon Dykes is looking to change the picture. Stansfield. Jay Stansfield, Nelson in the way.
Struck him hard. I think he's hurt, Curtis Nelson here. He's a bit weary.
He's back on his feet now, Curtis Nelson. As Birmingham City pull forward again. Roberts, another Birmingham corner.
The referee's going over to Curtis Nelson. He's down on his knee. The game probably should have been stopped for this, because this is thundered into his head. And you can see straight away there's a sort of a reaction that tells you it's a little bit unsteady.
Yeah, the referee's just checked on the well-being of Curtis Nelson, who looks a bit as told the referee is okay to continue. Zetterstrom gets fingertips on that.
Like I said, this is what Chris Davis would have anticipated, that his team would have a string of set pieces. That's why Dykes and Willemsen are on there now.
In towards that near post, and it's not the best ball in, and Derby County breathe a sigh of relief. There's Clark. So, there's that change. Patrick Adjaman withdrawn, and on comes Caden Jackson. Patrick Adjaman, I'll get there in the end.
Easy for you to say.
Put them in front.
Yeah. Excellent counter-attack. Brilliant header at the end of it. run himself into the ground.
Once again, it's another game which we've seen Patrick Adjeman grow and play a major part. Over the head of Caden Jackson. That's £7 million Derby have spent on Patrick Adjeman. It's the most Derby have spent on a player since they came out of administration. Another big rebuild for Derby will come in the summer.
You can see there, this has not been a great period in the games for Derby in general terms.
Peck's cross, it's crept through here to Patrick Roberts. Roberts hit that with feeling. Roberts again, Iwata gives chase. And Iwata forces another Birmingham City corner. The corner count building. And Willemsen across to take this one. Zetterstrom wants to retreat as he initially came forward. It's Peck. Another important block. Curtis Nelson with it. And Zetterstrom will see that sail behind.
Again, well done, Curtis Nelson. Brave again. Really important block. And you have to say the Derby defenders, they've put their bodies on the line in these situations. This time hits his shoulder, I think. Thankfully.
Well, Derby with one win in the last 5 games. This will be a hugely important point if they can hold on to this. They did hold the lead for so long, but having been down to 10 men since Joe Ward was sent off in the first half, they've been up against it.
I mean, they haven't got it, but if you'd have offered John Eustace a point at that moment, I think he would have probably took it. And that's where they are going into the last embers of this game. It's a big final few minutes, because look at the next 3 for Birmingham. As hard as it gets, I would say. Watford away, really tough. Coventry, Southampton, really tough. So this is big.
Stansfield, Kyogo with the flick. Willemsen looks to try and make an impact. Clara. If it stays this way, there will be a sense of frustration around this place that Birmingham City have not managed to force the issue in this game, but they've still got time. Stansfield's cross, and Bart again in the way. Perfectly placed, Danny Bart. Another hugely important intervention from him.
Well, if they get through this, the defenders have been magnificent to a man. But this is just huge. Look at that. Kyogo probably got a tap in, but for Danny Bart's intervention.
Birmingham City aren't finished yet. Nelson dealing with that one. Patrick Roberts. Now Peck. Clara beaten to it by Danny Bart, who's had a fabulous game at the back for Derby County. He may be involved again here. Kyogo having a little flick at that.
Been a colossus back there. But for this, I think Kyogo has a tap-in. Brilliant from the big defender. So here, Kyogo's eyes must have been lighting up. Great anticipation.
Frustration right now for Chris Davis and Birmingham City. The Derby fans are way to our right, trying to carry their team home here. Bobby Clark. Now Roberts. Kyogo's ahead of him. Lyndon Dykes there as well. And this is Peck, who can't hit them. We've seen that before. Again, another Derby block.
That's brilliant again from Derby. Curtis Nelson again, another block, and then Ibu Adams taking up the baton, charging out, winning a tackle, getting his team up the pitch and getting a throw in.
We are inching towards additional time. Still goalless at the Den between Millwall and Ipswich. A reminder, you can see the 3 o'clock Championship kickoffs on Sky Sports Plus. The assistant referee just dropped his flag. May have slipped in the process, not too sure, but a real Christmas spirit here for the officials. We will have 5 additional minutes. Roberts. It's Peck, and Sinistrom with a big hand to keep out Birmingham City and deny them potentially a winner.
Well, he has a sigh of relief, the goalkeeper, because is he trying to tip that over the bar? Palms it up. Either way, reacts quickly. My first instinct is that's an intent to tip it over the bar. There's a quick reaction, and then I think the picture tells you everything, doesn't it?
Well, it did the job.
Absolutely.
Patrick Roberts again. Birmingham City desperate for the winner here. Jack Robinson. Stansfield. Stansfield with the cross. And it's too high. And again, Derby County will settle for that.
I think both managers deserve credit. I think John Eustace anticipated and he wanted Birmingham to be crossing balls into the area. Chucked on another defender, backed his team to block shots and win crosses, and in the main they've done just that. Chris Davis knew that it could be a set piece. Best route to goal, proved right.
Boot on Ibu Adams. He has already been booked.
He's off. He's off.
And another card is on the way to straight red. It's not a second yellow, a straight red. And Clara is sent off. And Birmingham City, like Derby, are now down to 10.
Well, I don't think the referee's got any choice. Whether he should have given him a second yellow or whether it's a straight red, we'll have a look in a minute. But either way, it's reckless from the Birmingham City captain. I'm pretty confident, born of enormous frustration because his team, they just haven't been good enough to break Derby down. I mean, that is really reckless challenge. High boo. I mean, I think the referee could have gone second yellow rather than straight red, but either way, let's level things up here.
Well, of course, that could well affect in terms of his ban.
Suspension, yeah.
So Birmingham City are down to 10 here. Derby County with a player down below us.
I think it's Langas, isn't it? Below us.
Well, of course, John Eustace was remonstrating earlier on and claiming that Christoph Clara probably could easily have been sent off for a second yellow earlier on in the half. Just getting to know a few of the locals again here.
I think he probably knew them anyway from his time before.
Yeah, confirmation is Sondre Langas who was receiving the attention here. Well, it's been spicy, it's been feisty, it's been packed with incident.
You knew it would be. To be honest, once Joe Ward got sent off, it was always going to be spiky. Tackles flying in.
John Eustace on his second visit to St Andrews since he was brutally sacked here by the Birmingham City owners. He lost his last visit here with Blackburn. He'd only just taken over, but he could be leaving here with a point, and this was the start of this contest today.
Yeah, look, at this point he would have been very, very happy, but then unfortunately a red card to Joe Ward meant it was backs to the wall, and ultimately it was a set piece yielded for Birmingham City. Messy from a Derby County perspective, but as I said, once Joe Ward left the field, I think that a point would have been acceptable for John Eustace.
Well, Craig Forsyth, who used to make John Eustace's tea when they were roommates at Watford, comes on, and off goes Sondre Langas.
Top of his head is covered in blood, Langas. Frustrated, really, wanted to stay out there.
Well, the medics have to make the right decision, and they have done.
They couldn't, could they, Derby here?
10 against 10. Elder with the free kick. The referee has seen a foul in there. And Birmingham City get the free kick themselves now as they look to try and win this game. 10 against 10. There's Kyogo. Jay Stansfield being held up by Nelson. Thompson looking to smuggle that ball through for Ibu Adams. A foul by him on Jack Robinson. One thing John Eustace did say to me is that the way he left Birmingham City, at least he can hold his head up high and he doesn't quite get any stick when he walks around his home city.
It's fair enough.
Albeit it cut deep at the time.
He's one of the few, by the way.
Hello, Tom. There's Jay Stansfield. The referee checks his watch. Stansfield goes for the return. Forsyth's in the way. Now it's Kyogo, and Matchday is in the way of that. It's been a day of Derby blocks.
Yeah, the defenders have been absolutely brilliant, but there is still more defending to be done here for Derby.
Yeah, we're hearing we've got another 3 minutes here. Jay Stansfield. Stansfield goes in low. Nelson with the intervention that time. Samstead. It's Stansfield. There's another block.
You're going to lose count soon.
In by Iwata. Kyogo's gone down. Robertson with a header off the crossbar. That's how close Birmingham City came to winning this game.
Oh my goodness me. This is nothing like his goal. This is a brilliant header. Gets up early, powers it forward, and Derby get lucky.
Derby are still standing. Stansfield set a strong hold on, and he will take his time for as long as he can these days.
Oh, what a header this is. That is a head in hands moment. Would have been the winner. Precious 3 points. You could argue, do Derby deserve to lose this? Probably not. Do Birmingham deserve to win it? Probably not. It's been one of those, hasn't it? This team haven't quite done enough against 10 men for me. You've got to applaud Derby, the resilience of that, particularly the defenders. Outstanding effort.
And they are nearly there. Launched forward by Forsyth. Well, the flag is up against Caden Jackson as the ball broke his way. What did Birmingham City have left in the tank here? Forward by Robinson. Samstead. Roberts. McClark in the way. And Derby get the free kick. And that may well just see them home to a point.
Going to be pleased with so much. Obviously he's going to be fuming with Joe Ward a little bit. said, once that red card happened at the end of the first half, I think if you'd have offered him a point, he would have took it.
I think he's fuming with someone else there, John Eustace.
There we are. The numbers don't quite tell the story, but what is evident is Derby's only shot on target was the one with which they took the lead.
Derby County, the defiant. A bruising, brutal Boxing Day battle at St Andrews. They have held Birmingham City. They took the lead through Patrick Adjeman. A brilliant breakaway finished off by Adjeman, but then were reduced to 10 men before the break when Joe Ward was sent off. In the second half, Jack Robinson levelled up, bundling the ball over the line, and he almost won it right at the end when his header came back off the crossbar. Before that, Christoph Clara had been sent off for Birmingham City. Birmingham City frustrated by Derby County. Don, it's finished 1-1.
Yeah, as I said, look, I think that's about the right outcome, a point each really, for different reasons obviously. But it was a good, honest championship battle, the like of which we're quite used to now. They get between two pretty evenly matched teams, and again, we've said that on so many times in the championship. This is as crazy as I've seen the championship, and they'll be hoping that results maybe go their way, and if they do, and they can earn some more points in the next few games over Christmas, then either one or both of these could be right back in that race for a playoff spot.
It was fractious, it was feisty, it was spicy. It's Boxing Day. It's finished Birmingham City 1, Derby County 1.
Absolutely right, Gary Weaver. It was a feisty affair in the sunshine at St Andrews. A point apiece. Both sides had a man sent off as well. A really, really barnstorming game of football between Birmingham City and Derby County. Clinton Morris and Curtis Davis with us here in the studio. Fair result?
I think, yeah, on the balance of it, Birmingham obviously dominated the second half with 11 men against 10, most of it. But again, those chances, those on targets weren't quite clinical enough. I think Robinson had the best chances of the game for them, having scored the one already. So actually a long range strike and then a header right at the end that nearly won it for them. But I think Derby defended really well, were very, very resilient, and yeah, good result for them.
John Eustace there, Clinton, just talking to his goalkeeper, not happy, presumably, with that Birmingham City equaliser.
Yeah, he won't be happy with the equaliser, and I think at the end as well, also, he's telling him to get up the pitch, and because he was thinking of playing out from the back, and he says get up, yeah, but he's got to be much braver. When he comes out, I want my goalkeeper, if you're going to have to get a kick in the head, that is why you no, but that is why you're a goalkeeper though, Pratt, to dive on the ball, and I think he kind of waited, but credit for Robertson there, it was brilliant.
Was a cracking game of football. Let's get some reaction now on the pitch at St Andrews with Jonathan Oakes.
Well done both of you. Patrick, big effort required today. You're satisfied with the point overall?
Yeah, I think, you know, the circumstances that we had to play under, you know, having to hold out for like 10 minutes in the first, and then I don't know how long we went to, 50 or some more minutes. It shows the character of the team. So for me, I'm grateful for the team, and I think the boys are happy. Obviously, we always want better, but I think due to the circumstances, we're good.
Another goal for you, 4 in 6 games now. How are you finding that link up with Ryan Brewster?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, we communicate on and off the pitch a lot, and we understand our each other's games, strengths and weaknesses. And you know, when I seen him there, I just always want to make sure I'm around him to link up or obviously create a goal.
How did you find that second half, Danny? You did a lot of defending, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly busy. They're a good team. They play the right way, and we had to counter that. Obviously, losing Wardy with the sending off. To be honest, you know, there was it was like Christmas cards getting dished out everywhere. So in the end, it obviously got evened up to losing a man each. But I thought we dealt with it really well, and I think that just shows as a group how together we are. Whoever comes in, they want to do a job for the manager and the team and the club. So it's that spirit that will stand us in good stead.
What was it like in the dressing room at half-time when you just lost Joe Ward and you've got to reorganise things?
Yeah, I mean, obviously in training you work on it a lot with 10 men. It can happen at any time. So it's just really being disciplined and communicating really well, and it's just a test of our spirit and our togetherness, and I think we've shown again today. It would have been easy to come away and get beat. Blues have scored a lot of late goals, so it was very important we just saw it out.
You've not played that much for Derby, but do you hope you're giving John Eustace a difficult decision for the next game now?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of niggles and bits and pieces, so obviously now to be back on the pitch was unbelievable, and whoever's playing, I'll support and push them every day in training, whether it's me or someone else who's out of the team. We're all together.
3 days until the next game, Patrick. How are you finding this festive football?
Yeah, it's new to me, but I'm not gonna lie to you. The boys have told me about it, and they obviously warned me from the jump. But you know, with these guys, they make it easy for me to just focus on my game and focus on what I can control. They always back me no matter what, and obviously you've seen today, even going down to man, we see how defensive strong we stayed, and we stayed as a unit. You can tell we're a family group. So for me, I'm just trying to enjoy every moment because at the end of the day, it's a blessing to be in this position.
Thank you. Well done, both of you. Danny, if you do the honours for us, please. Patrick's the Sky Bet player of the match.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Superbly put by Patrick Agyemang there. 5 in 5 on the road for the Derby County striker. Thoroughly loving life, leading the line for the Rams. And when you've got Danny Batth at the back, defending like that, I'm sure all round that's a very hard-earned point.
Yeah, well done, well done.
And rightly applauding that travelling Derby County faithful. More action coming your way, NFL action. This is Texans at the Chargers, 9 p.m. tomorrow, and tomorrow even later than that, Ravens at the Packers, 1 a.m. And to keep you busy across Sunday, you've got Seahawks at the Panthers, Jaguars at the Colts, the Giants at the Raiders, Eagles at the Bills. That's on Sky Sports Plus and Sky Sports NFL. BAFTA-winning actor Will Sharp takes on the role of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart in this brand new Sky original series. Explore the downfall of one of history's most iconic composers, with all episodes of Amadeus available now on Sky Atlantic. We'll get Clinton and Casey's choice Mozart tracks after the break, as well as looking at what's happened here at St Andrews between Birmingham City and Derby County. Plenty of things to discuss, plenty of reaction to come your way. Plenty of happiness as well on this Boxing Day. 1 game down and plenty more to come.
This programme is sponsored by Fantasy EFL.